inside of me. You better watch out if you ignite me. A road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets claws real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling this war. Never getting bored, loves the blood and gore. Always wanting more, freedom from the source. They don't really understand until they feel the force apart. If you start shit, you'll be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you left scars ripped. You'll be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate.
And welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast with your hosts, Matt and D. Rose.
And yes, we finally made it. It is UFC 300 Fight Week. Check this custom shirt out. I got this right off the UFC store website, you know. With that
looks official.
Said, with that being said, we appreciate each and every single one of you for taking the time out of your night to stop by right over here on the Golden Octagon. Check out what we're talking about over here. And what we are talking about over here is we're going to give you our UFC 300 preview, our picks and our bets. That's at the end of the show, though. But before we get to that, we got some UFC news to go over. And before we get to that, we got some other UFC Fight Night this past weekend to talk about real quick, though, because this is going to be a grip of a show, but it is going to be a fantastic show, the one that I have been looking forward to for weeks now, dude. So, D-Rose, before we get started with the show and shout out the chat, you want to let the people know how you've been over the past week, and are you excited for UFC 300, my guy?
Yeah, I wish I had been on the train that you were on and ordered that custom shirt there, because that's one that's going down in the record books as one of the greatest shirts that
one
UFC
of
stores
one, baby.
produce.
One of one.
Yeah, that's I hate I missed that boat, but no, things have been great over here, man. Just same old, taking care of the family and whatnot, but no, as far as the fight card, obviously been getting my ass busted in FanDuel. So at this point, it has become a weekly deposit thing just to make sure FanDuel gets at least a $25 deposit, if not more. Varying, but yeah, other than that, man, super excited for the pay-per-view this weekend. And like you said, it's probably gonna be a long one here. So boys, we're gonna be here for a ride, but nonetheless, for an exciting pay-per-view coming up this weekend. And we sludged through the numerous Apex cards to make it here, but we're finally here.
Indeed we are, dude. So let's shout out the chat real quick, and then we'll jump into our weekend recap and our news before we get into this weekend. So with that being said, up first, we got Daniel Aker becoming a member. I had to help him out earlier just a little bit. For some reason, dude, people have such issues becoming a member on their phone. I don't know what YouTube's issue is, but I wish they would fix it to let people become members on their phone, because people have to go through, like, almost jump through hoops kind of to become a member. So Daniel Aker rejoined as a member. So truly appreciate you, Daniel, for being a member over here, brother. It means a ton. So we got Lush Lomane in here, Golden Octagon, another Golden Wednesdays with the boys. Indeed, Lush. Shout out Lush for stopping by here tonight. Austin said, I missed 90% of Monday's stream, but you best believe I'm ready for tonight. Let's go. You didn't miss too much, Austin. Just a little blaster rip. And my bets from this past weekend. Dave Fish for Days in here saying, made it to hump day. Indeed you did. Indeed you did, brother. Appreciate you stopping by tonight. What's going, homies? What's good, home? I can't read, dude. What's wrong with me? What's good, homies? Looks like we got Matty Prochazka in the house tonight. He's communicating with the aliens with the antenna on his head. We got Edgar H in here. What's up, boys? Appreciate you stopping by tonight, Edgar. LFG legendary week in store. It is, Daniel. I'm so stoked for this weekend. He said, I'm going to be at the fights this weekend, so I need all the insight I can get for some betting. Damn, congratulations,
Nice.
Daniel.
Hell yeah.
UFC 300, that's a sick card to be going to. I'm jealous of you. I hope you have a blast, dude. It is, UFC fights are so much fun just to be at, dude. We got Riley saying sick shirt. Indeed. Appreciate it, Riley. And Jim Card Collecting in here with the goats. Appreciate you, Jim Card Collecting. And way to go, Daniel. Indeed, says Ed Silva. Appreciate you stopping by tonight, Ed Silva. I sent you your shipping info earlier. Hopefully you got that, brother. So with that being said, D-Rose, one more time, we are going to, at the end of the show, we are going to give you our UFC 300 picks, our bets, and if we have anything made. I personally do, because I don't know why, but I've already bet 2 weeks worth of bets on this week's card, dude. We've got some UFC news and fights to go over. Before that, I'm going to eat some beans because I lost this past weekend, and then we'll talk about it real quick on the UFC Vegas 90 recap. Curtis versus Allen versus Curtis 2. We're going to step on that as fast as we can, but that is where we will start, D-Rose. So with that being said, recap for this past weekend. Brendan Allen, Chris Curtis 2. I'm just going to kind of give you my thoughts on the whole card, and I'll let you go, and then I'll eat the beans because, you know, it is what it is. So prelims, one thing that really burned me a lot was Dylan Budka. I was really high on Dylan Budka, and he ends up getting knocked out in the second round. Another one that I was really high on was Dan Argueta, and he ends up burning me, getting submitted in the second round.
Kill me.
Yeah, dude. The other one, and honestly, I was pretty solid throughout the rest of the prelims until we got, and honestly, the main card, until we got to the co-main event, dude, where I'll be damned, dude, if I didn't have 3 or 4 parlays relying on Alexander Hernandez, dude, and why did I bet on Alexander Hernandez, dude? It's like me and you never bet him, but this was like the one spot where it's like, man, his path to victory is there. That's how Damon Jackson loses. We have to go Alexander Hernandez. What we failed to realize was that's also the Leech's Damon Jackson's path to victory too, to drain the energy out and win the fight late or by decision. And that's what happened. Damon Jackson ends up winning that fight via decision, but you know, what can you do? And Brendan Allen, Chris Curtis, dude, I saw a lot of people say that they thought Chris Curtis won this fight, and one of the judges thought so, but I personally didn't think so at all. I thought Brendan Allen pretty cleanly won that fight, but I didn't have any bets at that point. I had it to basically start round 3. I did hit one bet that I gave out on Change the Cheddar on Friday, D-Rose, so I can't be too upset. It was this right here. Let's get this thing off the screen real quick. It was a 4-leg. It was Walter Walker versus Lucas Dretsky to start round 2. Alex Moreno to win. Trevor Peake versus Charlie Campbell to start round 2. And Ignacio Bahamondes to win straight up. That had no problem cashing, dude. Like, all of those went to decision that I needed to start round 2, and Alex Moreno and Ignacio, dude, I don't think they lost a second of their fight, dude. So I guess the one that I was most confident on that hit, and that's the one that kind of made me break even for this past weekend. So that's my thoughts on the card from this past weekend, D-Rose. What did you think about the card this past weekend?
I actually thought it was a pretty solid card. I thought that the main event, I thought you could have scored it either way, if I'm being honest. If you had said Chris Curtis had won, I couldn't have been mad, because I really thought the swing round was the 5th round. I thought Brendan Allen won the 1st and 4th pretty clean, and then I thought that Chris Curtis won 2nd and 3rd pretty clean. And just when I thought that Brendan Allen had kind of cleaned up, not just taking nuclear shots to the dome, Chris Curtis's boxing, man, he just, and maybe he's just a bad matchup for Brendan Allen. I don't know, but he just seems to just be able to land on him every single time, and had him rocked in the second round the same way that he had him rocked in the first fight. But credit to Brendan Allen that, he was able to get the takedown, kind of slow down Chris Curtis's momentum and was able to stay into the fight, got back into the fight and won it. So, and it was a super close fight. Brendan Allen had that explosion at the end. So I think that's what gave him the fight. One, I'm surprised you did not brush over because I'm not worried about the co-main. Alexander Hernandez burned me. That's enough. But man, Chepe and Morgan Charrier. I mean, that was a banger of a fight, a controversial fight. But for me personally, I thought that Chepe had won the fight. I thought he won round one. And as someone who had him in a parlay, it was with Alexander Hernandez, so obviously it busted anyway. But yeah, I had Chepe in a parlay, and yeah, I was sweating there in that second round because Morgan Charrier was tuning him up in that second round. But yeah, I thought Chepe did enough in that third round to win that fight. And man, I think the biggest takeaway for me, Chepe just got that dog in him, man. I'm a fan. I was kind of always a fan after that Trevor Peek fight that he had, but man, he just seems to get better and better. The dude just got that. He is the definition of, got that dog in him. Like, where did that come from? It comes from Chepe Machine Gun Maniscal. That dude's just a dog, and that dude has no quit in him, man. And I love watching him fight. And yeah, I think that's probably the biggest takeaways for me from the card. Yeah, because I was just mad after the Dan Argueta result. Freaking Walter Walker, did not have me feeling good going into the Chepe fight because of course I ended up picking Walter Walker. Why did I pick that fight going into our pick champs? So yeah, he had me sweating there for a second too. But other than that, Chepe Maniscal, man, you got a fan of me right now. That dude's a dog. Your microphone muted.
I guess that explains why you didn't answer the question that I asked. Yes. But anyway, let's shout out Derek Goofer here. APFCX was awesome. I got Poirier and Pettis auto on my arm tattooed. Pettis said if I did it, he would give me lifetime tickets. Great night. That is absolutely crazy, Derek. That is everything all right, D-Rose?
Looks like they're just up there. It's a zoo up there, as it normally is, and it's extra time right now.
Yeah, but shout out Derek Jufre for the $5 donation, brother. And that sounds like a hell of a deal to me. Just like Lush said, sounds like a deal to me indeed. But yeah, so I guess to touch on what you said real quick, Chepe, I personally, I was torn, dude, because I picked Morgan Charrier for the pick champ, but at this point I was kind of chasing in the night, so I did have Morgan KO bet, and I had Chepe via decision bet. So I was kind of cheering for Morgan, but I thought if Chepe won, it would probably be a decision. So I think I did win that, but I wasn't really too happy just because it's like, I think after like watching it, I was like, man, that went the wrong way. I won money. I won the bet, and that went the wrong way. I personally think Morgan Charrier won the fight. But as you said, dude, it was a super close fight. I mean, what can you really do? And with that being said, let's get to our different picks for this past weekend. That was indeed Morgan Charrier versus Chepe Mariscal, where I went Morgan Charrier and D Rose went Chepe Mariscal. It was Trevor Peek versus Charlie Campbell, where I went Trevor Peek and D Rose went Charlie Campbell. Real quick, D Rose, were you scared at any point there in that fight? Because Trevor Peek was throwing fucking hammers, dude. And I swear he dropped Charlie Campbell, dude. Like, there's a few times that he went for the takedown that I think he hurt Charlie Campbell, and he was just grabbing for a leg, dude. That fight was absolutely nuts. And I'm glad that Trevor Peek got a new contract as well. But yeah, thoughts on that in just a few words while I get the last one pulled up. That is Walter Walker versus Lucas Dretsky, where I took a humongous dog in Lucas Dretsky, and D Rose took Walter Walker. So that was the only one that I did get correct. So that being said, I have to eat the beans this week. We did have 5 different picks, but The way it worked was the Rose picked the ones where he was correct 2 out of the 3. So being boozled this week, it's on me, and I'm not happy. Let's get rid of the pick champ because I'm no longer the pick champ. I know D Rose is excited to
Put that belt back up where it belongs. Give me my belt,
dude. What I hate.
Where's my belt?
What I hate is I'll just dump them out in my hands, and I'll have like 2 or 3 of them that are the same color. It's like, give me a few options, you know?
Yeah, that's why I try to. That's why when I go, I just try to grab for one, so that way I don't get a whole, get a whole bunch of them.
I got 3. Dude, I don't know what color this one is.
I think that 3's calling your name. And to answer your question about the Trevor Peek fight, I was not sweating per se, but I thought in that second round, man, I was like, if Charlie Campbell doesn't catch his second win right here, because he was definitely tired, I was going to get a little nervous then, but he made good on the 3rd round, so I knew I was all right.
That shirt is fire. Gonna get mine delivered. Sad. All right. Maybe I'm not. What am I missing? I'm not sure. That sure is fire. All right. Lush. Oh, the APFC. That makes a lot more sense. Oh, okay. I'll have to keep track of it. Okay, so they're just talking. I was so confused. There was just them going back and forth. Anyway, so we got some bean eating going on in here. So I don't know what
you can get you some dirty dishwater, baby.
One of them is blue, so it's toothpaste or blueberry, which wouldn't be awful. I'm okay with that. The other one,
toothpaste.
The other one I believe is stink bug or toasted marshmallow, which I don't think either one are good.
Ew, I've not had that one yet.
I thought you had the toasted marshmallow, no?
Did I have the marshmallow? I might have had that one.
Anyway.
But the stink bug,
Here we go. We got a brown one and a blue one. So I believe toothpaste over here all the way on this side. And then stink bug or toasted marshmallow is the brown one. Hopefully I get lucky this week. But I haven't ate beans in a few weeks. So, I'm not a complete baby like D Rose. And he'll be like... If it's stink bug, it's going to be stink bug. And I'm going to eat it. And then maybe throw up like a man. But if it's not, then I'll just let it be. So I'm gonna do the brown.
At least I'm not throwing up.
Yeah, I have thrown up on here. It's okay. So up first is the brown one. That is either stink bug or toasted marshmallow. And hopefully this one, if it's bad, will be toothpaste and it'll clean the flavor in my mouth. So here we go.
Tastes just
dude. I was so confident.
Tell me how it is.
I was so confident, dude. Do you know what a stink bug smells like, D-Rose?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Imagine that spray just went right in your mouth, dude. Imagine that smell is what your whole mouth tastes like, dude. I was so confident, dude.
Man, that's rough.
Dude.
I used to take stink bugs because, of course, if you kill them, because they get in my house, pretty often. And, back in the day, when
this one's blue, so hopefully this one's toothpaste. They get this awful flavor out of my fucking mouth. That one is for sure toothpaste, but I'll eat it. I don't even care, dude.
Let's get there and wash that stink bug out.
God, dude, that was terrible.
Yeah, I used to take stink bugs and roll them up in toilet paper and flush them down the toilet because I did not want to crush it in the house and have that smell all throughout the house. So yeah, I was pretty smart about that once I smelled it that first time. They're brutal.
Yeah, dude, it tastes like that smell is just in your mouth, dude. You better hope you don't get that one, dude. Dude, I was so confident. Man.
Toothpaste doesn't even seem all that bad. It's probably just like mint or something.
It kind of tastes like I don't know.
It probably tastes like mint. I had to imagine.
Almost just like chewing gum flavored jelly bean. Like it's okay.
Yeah,
I don't really mind it.
That's not too bad.
All right, here we go. Who has a oh, he's asking about a card. Anyway, Dave happy at that. Riley's happy at that. This guy's like, what am I watching? I guess it was Stingbug indeed. Matt is reckless with these beats.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't mess
That's why
around.
I'm cautious.
I just want to get it over with, dude. If it's bad, let it be bad and let it be done. That way I don't have to worry about it anymore. But yeah. Dude, I that one is probably one of the worst ones that I've had, dude. Like, there's few that I like. It'll get me to gag like that. That was one. Usually I'll just be like, yeah, and spit it out. It's not a good one. But I think which one was it? Was it the vomit? I may have had barf.
Didn't you have dirty dishwater?
Yeah, maybe I had a fucking dirty dish. That one was terrible. That one was terrible.
No, it was. I remember because once I had it, I was like, yes, I will say I've not had all the bad ones, but that is 1,000%, 1,000% the worst one. Like it literally tastes like if someone took a cup, scooped your dishwater, and was like, here, take a sip. Like
there you
go. Before they told you to take a sip, they take a shitload of dish soap and they just pour it in there and then hand it to you. Like it is absolutely the worst taste ever.
Yeah, dude. But anyway, glad that's over. And I look forward to not having to eat any more beans for 300 fight weekends because I'm about to be pick champ forever now because that wasn't good. I just want to pick right so I don't have to do that. And I don't even care about the belt, dude. Just don't make me eat that.
Dude, I swear. The pressure is on every week to like make sure the picks are on now. Because like before there were consequences, we weren't as sharp on some of those. Sometimes we would just want to have a odd pick just for the odd pick. But now we're a little bit more strategic in the way we pick about these fights now.
Yeah, I'll still pick up fucking plus $400 there like I did last week, and that's the one that I get right.
Yeah. And then the other two are fairly close, and yeah, it doesn't. The Charlie Campbell one, not so much, but yeah, crazy freaking Walter Walker. And I didn't feel good about it. I said the same thing. I was like,
why didn't you do GDR versus Norma Dumont then, Dearest?
Because what happened, I knew I kind of had in the back of my mind was going to happen. GDR just doesn't have good takedown defense, so I expected it.
All right. With that being said, let's get into our UFC news and fight announcements from this past week. So, with that being said, over the past week, since we've been gone, at least, there has been announcements of fights, and this is our first one. JJ Aldrich taking on Veronica Macedo Hardy, added to UFC St. Louis, May 11th. Dude, care about that one at all?
Should be a solid fight. And yeah, Veronica Hardy, she's been
cashing it. Everyone called me dumb when she I forgot who it was that she fought.
Juliana Miller.
Yeah, Juliana Miller, dude. I fucking cashed that one.
She's been looking good in her last couple fights. So yeah, she's been looking more sharp, and that should be a good fight.
I'll be interested to see odds on that fight, dude. Anyway, moving on to the next one. Jesus Christ, this is what's happening, Nico Price. You're gonna get knocked out by Robbie Lawler and then come back and fight Jeremiah Wells next. Anyway, that is the UFC 302, June 1st. I believe that's going to be in Newark, New Jersey. What's your thoughts on that fight?
That's a banger of a fight. You know, I love me some Nico Price fights, and Jeremiah Wells, he's a dude that I'm a fan of as well. He's a good wrestler, good cardio, and dude's got power for days. So yeah, that should be an awesome fight for as long as it lasts. And I think there's a chance that Jeremiah Wells might hurt Nico Price if Nico Price doesn't land a big shot.
Yeah, dude. I think there's a very strong chance that Jeremiah Wells hurts Nico Price. Anyway, moving on. We do have Muin Gaffarov taking on Kyung Ho Kang. That is UFC Saudi Arabia, June 22nd. You care about that one at all? Because I personally don't.
You're right. I don't either.
All right. The next one that I do personally care about. We got Renat Fakhretdinov taking on Nicholas Dalby. Also UFC Saudi Arabia, June 22nd. This is one that I think Renat kind of looked like shit in his last fight, right? And then Dalby beat Bonfim in his last fight, dude. So this is kind of like where are we really at 170? Who's really better? This is a good fight. I'm interested in this fight, and I like the pace that Nicholas Dalby puts on people. You know that. What's your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be interested to see, definitely turn the betting line as well, because Dalby, as you said, he cashed against Bonfim in his last fight big time, and Fakhretdinov is the dude. I know he lost his last fight, but he's still a guy who people have a lot of hype for, and I think if Dalby is the underdog going into that fight, man, as much as I don't like betting Nicholas Dalby, might have to lay a little bit of cheddar on that one if he's the underdog going into that fight for sure. So that is I do agree with you. That's a good matchup.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Dude, Dustin Stoltzfus gonna fight again against Bruno Ferreira, dude. The Hulk. I'm a fan of the 185 Hulk, dude. Too many Hulks in the UFC though. June 8th. Probably gonna be an Apex card, but I like Bruno Ferreira to probably knock out Dustin Stoltzfus. What's your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, just about the same. Stoltzfus is probably going to get his lights put out. I'm not going to say he gets knocked out in all of his fights, but he does tend to get at least hurt at some point. And Bruno Ferreira, he's a big power puncher, so yeah, it should be fun for as long as it lasts. But Bruno should get a pretty easy KO.
All right. And then we have one that I don't care about. Also, I don't care about this one either. Nah. Here's a fun one, dude. We got Andre Touchy-Feely taking on Cub Swanson, dude. UFC 303, June 29th, dude. Cub Swanson's still doing the damn thing, and Touchy-Feely looked pretty solid in his last fight too. He's still, I guess, a name that you have to watch out for.
Didn't he get blasted by Dan Ige in his last fight?
Okay, the one before his last fight.
yeah. I was like, man, yeah.
I remember.
He looked good on that poster for Dan Ige, yeah, because Dan Ige landed a hellacious shot on him. But
you are correct. You are correct.
But no, Cub Swanson is as you said, a dog. That dude still doing it at this point in time. I believe he lost. Did he lose to Jonathan Martinez in his last fight? I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think just in terms of where they're both at,
may have had one since then, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but yeah, that kind of win one, lose one type, but still one of the old dogs, and him and Feely, they're kind of almost, I would say, the same point in their career right now. So yeah, this fight kind of makes sense.
All right, we'll move on to the results from this past weekend. Dude, I started off wrong, dude. I got the first fight wrong, the second fight wrong, the third fight wrong. The fourth fight was the first one that I got right, dude. I got that one right. I got that one right. That one right. This one wrong, dude. But I didn't have a whole lot of bets. I had to start round 2, and I had no problem starting round 2. I got this one kind of hurt me because I had Ignacio over 1.5, dude, but he just crushed Christos in the first round. Christos usually looks all right in the first round, but he just didn't look. Dude, he got crushed. Split decision for Cherrier Chepe, Damon Jackson with hair, and then Brendan Allen, Chris Curtis. Anyway, we have Viviane Araújo taking on Jasmine. Jazz Duvicius, UFC July 13th. What's your thoughts on this fight, man? Pretty solid one.
Yeah, it should be a solid fight, but yeah, I think we know the path of victory for Jasmine. She's going to look to get the fight to the ground, and I know you're a big fan of Vivi. She had a big win in her last fight
over Jennifer Maia, dude.
Yeah, and I was surprised about that.
Yeah,
because I thought Jennifer Maia could use her boxing and work in with the takedown.
But she outstruck Jennifer. She outstruck Jennifer Maia, dude.
And took her down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and took her down. So I mean, in the third round, I was like, yeah, use your jiu-jitsu, Jennifer Maia, and yeah, she could not do shit against Bibby. So yeah, should be a good fight though.
Mm-hmm. All right, we do have one of your favorites, dude. Josh Van taking on Sumu Darji. That's going to be UFC 302 as well. What's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, that should be a good fight for as long as it lasts as well. That's one of those, man. Sumo Darji is kill or be killed type of fighter, and Josh Van, as you said, I'm becoming a fan of this guy. He's super crisp boxing, just it's super well rounded, just goes for it. He doesn't have the most power, but he almost kind of reminds me of like his style anyway, like a young Max Holloway, like the way he just kind of puts the volume and the pressure on you with the boxing, and able to work some nice kicks in there as well. He's sharp, man. You're right. I am a big fan of Josh Van.
All right, we'll move on to the next one. That is, dude. So, can we touch on? Can we touch?
No.
Yeah, I know, dude. Her arms. I know,
dude. What the hell is that?
She needs to be drug tested ASAP. First of all, but dude,
that is not her. That is a Photoshop.
Dude, have you seen Ariane Carnelossi? Dude, she's jacked. Dude, she's absolutely jacked.
Dude, her arm is bigger than her head.
Dude, she's like Paulo Costa. She's like, it's like someone took a female and glued Paulo Costa's arms on her.
Dude, that is literally
dude, that's what she looks like, thighs. Dude, if you Google her, that's what she looks like. It's the crazy part.
Bonkers. Like, what the hell?
Look,
dude, what the hell?
Look, I have already liked this comment. Drug test Ariane right now. That isn't natural. I had already liked that shit from 2 days ago.
Dude.
But anyway, can we touch on Cynthia Calvillo real quick? Because Pierre Rodriguez was going to fight Cynthia Calvillo this past weekend, and Cynthia Calvillo missed weight by like 3 or 4 pounds, dude. Is the UFC going to cut her, or are they going to keep giving her chances?
Seems like they keep trying to give her a chance, but I mean, I think at this point, I think for most UFC fans' sake, you should go ahead and cut ties with her. But at this point, I really don't care what they do with Cynthia Calvillo because she is as irrelevant as can be. No offense to her, but yes, boring fight style, can't make weight. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the UFC would cut ties.
All right, so who do you got against Pierre Rodriguez versus the arm?
I mean, damn, at this point, if she hit her ass with a clothesline like Kevin Nash style, I mean, that shit is over.
JBL clothesline from hell.
Dude, I mean, freaking just clothesline her ass and it's a wrap. I mean, that's the first fighter that's going to have a signature move is the damn clothesline. Like, that's absolutely nuts.
Look, the comments are going wild on that one. She got some BP 157. I don't even know what that is.
Bro, it looks like someone put a freaking bike pump. It looked like someone put a bike pump in her arm and literally was just like it just pumped air into her arms. That is absolutely crazy.
And I thought Kayla Harrison was a bro. Like, that's the train's arms photoshopped on this chick. Look at these biceps. She's already cut, guys. I believe Cynthia Calvillo cut yesterday. Okay, that would make sense. All right, so up next, we do have Martin Baddies Budai taking on the Pitbull Andre Arlovsky, and I love this fight for Martin Baddies Budai, dude. Although we saw Waldo Cortez Acosta dry hump Pitbull for 3 rounds, air hump Pitbull for 3 rounds in his last fight. He still got the dub, but dude, it's like, I feel like Andre looked like shit still, dude. Martin Budai is so big. He's got so much more size and strength over Andre Arlovsky, dude. I believe he ends up taking Andre Arlovsky down and submitting him at some point. So give me Martin Baddies Budai to win this fight. UFC Vegas 93. What's your thoughts on that one?
Yes, honestly, at this point, Arlovsky, I mean, he can, we can go ahead and hang him up, right? I mean, I mean, he's been fighting since I think about 1942. He's been fighting since. So I mean, to still be doing this now at about 103 years old, it is remarkable. But yeah, he's just starting to show his age in the octagon every time now, unfortunately. And yeah, I think killer. He was a killer at one point in time. We all love him, but yeah, I would love to see him hang it up after this, especially if it's a performance where he's either standing there not doing too much or if he gets ran over.
What do you mean? That's all of his last 10.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So,
even if he won, he's standing there not doing much. It's like what needs was the other guy.
Right, but I mean, he could go in there, and if he lands like a big shot or something like that on Martin Buday, just like Shamil Ghazi did.
No, there's a difference, D Rose. There's a difference, man. Shamil Ghazi's like 7 foot tall. No. Okay, we'll move on, dude. We've got Andre Muniz taking on Ikram Aliskerov, UFC Vegas 93, June 15th. What's your thoughts on that one?
That's a good fight, and I'm surprised that Muniz is willing to take that fight, considering he's coming off of winning his last fight against the Iron Turtle. Another bet that absolutely burned me, Iron Turtle there. But yeah, Ikram, he'll probably be a pretty big favorite. Is it? Did it say what card it was on? Is it any of the Saudi cards, or do you know? Or I guess I'm just curious as far as Ikram going to fight in the States, or because I know they've been kind of determined.
UFC Vegas 93. That's gonna be an Apex card, probably.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah, that's interesting because I know they've been trying to get Ikram on like one of the Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi type cards. I guess with the big Muslim crowd and whatnot. A big following over there. But yeah, that's actually a really good fight. Ikram's got good wrestling, but he's also got good boxing. We know Muniz got good striking, good submission, so it should be a good fight.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I have a hard time picking in that fight because I don't think Ikram is that good, but Andre Muniz's striking is bad. All right. We got Muhammad Naimov taking on Melsik Bagdasaryan, and that's actually a pretty solid fight, dude. I was gonna say I don't care about it until I thought about it for a second. That is Saudi Arabia card. So Muhammad Naimov, Melsik the Gun, Bagdasaryan. What's your thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, that is a good fight. And Muhammad Naimov, he's came in the UFC with a lot of momentum right now. And Melsik Bagdasaryan, good striker too. So that should be a good matchup, man.
Always super confident, dude. And last week we announced Ihor Pereira versus Sharabullet Magomedov. It looks like Sharabullet might have some visa issues, dude, or something happened, dude, because Magomedov or Sharabullet Magomedov is out, and then Michel Pereira will now face Ihor Pereira, UFC 301 in Brazil, dude. Thoughts on that?
I'm wondering if it's because they can't really get Sharabullet to not be able. Basically,
dude,
they were
he
saying
don't have an eye.
Over. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't have the one eye, and no commission in the U.S. is going to be able to, give him a license to fight. So they're trying to book him in other different countries where the UFC would have a little bit more influence over the commission. But man, I can imagine that people are like, "This dude literally has one eye. Why would we let him fight?" And I imagine that being a problem for Sharabullet going forward. But Michel Pereira, hey, he's been on a roll, but man, I mean, I think I would love to see him kind of, I guess, maybe moving up a little bit in terms of matchmaking, just because, he came in with 2 big knockouts against guys who were, you could say, maybe within that 30 to 40 range. I'd like to see him move up a little bit. Or you could say in the same sense, since it's at 301, correct? Yeah, they could be trying to make sure they get the Brazilian crowd a big performance as well. So, I mean, Ihor Pereira looked good in his last fight, but Michel Pereira has been a beast as of late, so that should be a good one.
Indeed, that should be fun, dude. We do have Roman Kapilov taking on Cesar Almeida. That's the dude that just knocked out Dylan Budka this past weekend. That's going to be UFC 302 June 1st. Care about that one at all?
Whew, that should be a banger, man. Two potent strikers. We saw how potent Cesar Almeida looked this past weekend, and we know Roman Kapilov's already made of, so that should be a banger of a fight.
Indeed. We have good Jelton Almeida taking on Alexander Romanov, dude. UFC 302. Dude,
It's the same dude. It is literally the same dude fighting one another. Like,
well, one has gas and the other one doesn't.
who has gas?
I mean, if you look at Romanov versus,
if you look at Romanov versus Tybura, he absolutely gassed, just like Jelton Almeida did against Curtis Blades.
I mean, did Jelton Almeida gas against Curtis Blades, or did he get knocked out?
I think he just gassed from going for all the takedowns, and Curtis Blades is just like, oh, okay, you're just going to stand there and leave your head open? Cool. And just beat his lights in, or beat his lights off.
But I think the size of Romanov here could come into play. This could look like Derek Lewis versus Jelton, to be honest. Hopefully this ain't the main event, dude.
Yeah.
No. It's on a pay-per-view. No way that's the main event. All right. And our last one, dude, we have Nathaniel Wood taking on Daniel Pineda. Daniel Pineda is still doing the damn thing. UFC's July 20th card. So I don't know what that's going to be. It just says July 20th. So that's the last announcement that we have. D-Rose, thoughts on that one?
Yeah, that should be a good fight. Nathaniel Wood's a good fighter, and like you said, Daniel Pineda is still doing the damn thing at probably 37 years old or so. So yeah, it should be a good fight.
All right, D-Rose. It is time. What everyone has been waiting on. Our UFC 300 preview, our picks, and our bets. I already have a few. I don't know about you. I already have them uploaded. Well, you don't have them uploaded, but I have them uploaded, so I will share them with you at the end of the show today. Kind of a little preview of Change of Cheddar at the end of the week. And, yeah. Let's get my screen shared, and we are up to it, dude. We're here, man. We're here. Long-awaited UFC 300. Look at that sick fight poster, dude. Just I don't know how much more effort could have gone into that. But anyway, UFC 300, a special event. D-Rose, good fights from top to bottom, is going to be taking place. Prelims start at 6 p.m. on Saturday, April 13th, 2024. At the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Headlining UFC 300 will be Alex Poatan Pereira taking on Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill. The co-main event, that will be for the light heavyweight championship. The co-main event for the strawweight, for the women's strawweight championship, will be between Magnum Zhang Weili and Yan Xiaonan. China versus China in the co-main event. Our feature fight is another title fight for the BMF championship. It is going to be fought between Justin the Highlight Gaethje and Max Blessed Holloway. Moving on down to our fourth pay-per-view card, we got Garbrandt Charles Oliveira taking on Arman Tsaryukan. And the first fight on the pay-per-view is Bo Nickal taking on D Rose's favorite fighter, Cody Brundage. Excuse me. And then the main event of the prelims is Jiri Dianesa Prochazka taking on Alexander Rakic. We've got Calvin Kattar taking on the Funkmaster Aljamain Sterling in his first fight up at 145 pounds. We've got the Preacher's daughter, Holly Holm, welcoming Kayla Harrison to the UFC at 135 pounds. We've got Super Sadiq Yusuff taking on the guy with the best hair in the UFC, Diego Lopes. We've got Jalen, the Tarantula Turner, taking on Hanato Money Moicano. We've got Bate Estaca, Jessica Andrade, taking on Marina Rodriguez. We've got Bobby King Green taking on Jim fucking Miller, dude. Fought on 100, 200, and now fighting on UFC 300. And the first fight on the card, dude, the prelim curtain jerker, dude, is Deuce the Guerra, Davidson Figueroa taking on Cody No Love Garbrandt, dude. This card is hands down the best UFC card that has ever been announced on paper, dude. I cannot wait for this card. I cannot think of one card that even comes close to this, where even the first fight on the card could literally headline any show, dude. I guess thoughts on the card as a whole before we get into it, my guy.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of just sheer matchups altogether, man, I think just an A plus. The UFC is really bringing their A game to this one, and we want to see these fights live up. So I think that's the only thing, is that we get a little bit too excited, and then the fights might not deliver, or you might get a couple of eye pokes or a low blow, no contest, and all of a sudden, the night gets a little deflated. So you just want to make sure that the fights live up to the hype, because there's definitely a lot of hype going into this card, man. We're all excited, and like you said, they have two former champs opening up the card. Just goes to show the star power on this card, man.
Indeed, man. So we've got 13 fantastic fights. Yeah, man. So let's get into it. Up first fight of the night, we do have Deiveson Figueiredo, or the God of War, taking on Cody No Love Garbrandt. Deiveson Figueiredo is 22-3, and out of his last 5 fights, he is 2-2-1, 2 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw, but basically all to Brandon Moreno. These 4, and then in his last fight, moving up to 135 pounds, beat the absolute shit out of Rob Font, and that was very surprising to your boy over here. On the other hand, Cody No Love Garbrandt, 14-5 overall, won 3 of his last 5, lost 2. Here we go. Knockout against Rafael Sunsao 3 years, 10 months ago. Lost 2 in a row to Rob Font via decision, and Kai Car France via knockout 2 years. Damn, that was 2 years ago already, dude. It does not seem like that long.
Crazy.
I remember talking about it with you on the podcast, dude. That's the crazy part. And then a year and a month ago, beat Trevin Jones via decision, and then Brian Kelleher via knockout, dude. Currently, odds for this fight are -320 for Deuce Tejeda, Deiveson Figueiredo, and +235 for Cody No Love Garbrandt. Deuce Tejeda is 36 years old, 5'5", and a 68-inch reach, while Cody No Love Garbrandt is 32 years old, 5'8", and a 65-inch reach. I guess I'll start off like this, D-Rose. I'll start off breaking it down, and we'll alternate. I guess I'm gonna keep it short. Like, I hate doing MMA math because that's not how it works, but everyone's got to do MMA math right here, right? Everyone was kind of waiting to see how Cody looked. I mean, how like how Deiveson looked up at 135 in his last fight. A lot of people took Rob Font because of what he did to Adrian Yanez. We're like, damn, like Rob Font's still good. And dude, Deiveson Figueiredo came up in there and beat the shit out of Rob Font, dude. And if you are able to beat the shit out of Rob Font like that, drop him like that, dude, fighting someone like Cody Garbrandt that has absolute no chin, dude. His last 2 wins were against Trevin Jones and Brian Kelleher, in which I picked both of those dudes to beat Cody Garbrandt. So how stupid would I look if I picked both of those dudes to beat Cody Garbrandt, but I did not pick Deuce Tejeda, Deiveson Figueiredo. So I am going Deiveson Figueiredo, going to knock out Cody Garbrandt. Wouldn't surprise me if it was in the first round. Which way are you going here this week, T-Rose?
I've been going back and forth, and honestly, on this whole card, I've been going back and forth. There's a lot of really good matchups. And Jay Wolf, the man. I mean, okay, I'll just say it. I'm going Cody Garbrandt here, man. I think Cody Garbrandt, and I want to say the reason why I think Cody's a little bit more of a slick boxer. I think you've seen him be a little bit more patient in his last few fights. If you look at the Trevin Jones fight, he used a lot of footwork. He didn't engage nearly as much, but I think he was just, kind of implementing a new style. Fighting, kind of going off and kind of working with different camps, not necessarily being so grounded with Team Alpha Male. He's been living in Vegas now, so man, I just think he's kind of got this reborn energy in him now. I almost think he kind of won the championship too soon in his career. Then he had to try to live up to this expectation that he just couldn't reach. And I think right now he's kind of hitting his stride. You go in that Kelleher fight, and I think, even a couple of times he had Kelleher hurt early on. He never really jumped and tried to get in there and get into a scrap and tried to, just throw right hooks to the death. He actually took his time and landed his kill shots. And I think that, you get a potent and patient Cody Garbrandt like that. And I think he's going to be quicker than Figueiredo. I think he's going to be a better athlete, and I think he's going to have better boxing. So for me, I want to go Cody Garbrandt here. And I actually got I got a $10 straight bet on him right now at plus 240. I actually got a $10 bet on Cody Garbrandt. So I'm actually putting my money where my mouth is, man. I really believe in the matchup.
Interesting. Surprising, but I understand it, dude. We got Matt Pesky here, bro. Love your content. Didn't know you did an MMA podcast. Love to see it. Hell yeah, brother. This actually started before I opened one UFC card. Me and D Rose were here every single week. That new hairstyle looks sick on you. That's okay. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. So with that being said, we'll move on to the next fight of the night. Me and D Rose are split on that one, where I am on Deuce the Guerra, Davidson Figueroa, and D Rose is on Cody No Love Garbrandt. So next fight of the night. Holy shit, dude! This could be a co-main event of any fight card, dude. This is probably the one that I'm probably least excited for on the entire card, though, just because of, it is what it is. But I still love the fight. I don't hate it at all. I love me some Jim Miller, and I love watching Bobby Green fight, dude. So here we go. We do have Bobby King Green taking on Jim fucking Miller, dude. Bobby King Green is 31-15-1 overall, and out of his last 5 fights, he is 2 wins, 2 losses, and 1 no contest. The head clash with Jared Gordon there. Jim Miller is 37-17 overall, most fights in the UFC and most wins in the UFC. Out of his last 5 fights, he is 4-1. His only loss is to Alexander Hernandez, dude. Currently, odds for this fight are plus 142, the underdog for Jim Miller, and minus 184, the favorite for Bobby King Green. Bobby King Green is 37 years old, 5'10", and a 71-inch reach, while Jim Miller is 40 years old, 5'9", and a 71-inch reach. I'm gonna let you break it down, D Rose.
Man. So, love the fight, and for Jim Miller, obviously he's got a lot more tools to work with as far as the jiu-jitsu, and we've seen the knockouts that he's been able to come with as of late. Was it Jesse Butler? I believe he landed that overhand left to the uppercut. I mean, Jim Miller's been getting it done in all kinds of ways. Hate to see the way that Bobby Green got finished in his last fight against Jalen Turner, because he had a little bit of momentum behind him before that. I think he kind of just took the fight on short notice against Jalen Turner, and I think this Jalen Turner was just a bad matchup for him overall. But I think I think this is a good fight. I'm going Bobby Green here, man. I think Bobby Green's just a little bit more slick boxing. Jim Miller kind of does walk forward a little bit, doesn't really cut off the angles too well, and I think that that's going to leave Bobby Green open to let his boxing really shine. And as long as Jim Miller doesn't back him up to the fence, I think Bobby Green's going to use a lot of footwork, a lot of jabs, 1-2s, kind of stay out of range, and I think Bobby gets a decision here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Thought process makes sense, dude. But does it bother you that he got knocked out 3 times in 5 seconds, like 3 months ago by Jalen Turner, dude? Like, got absolutely demolished and then killed and then revived and killed again, like 3 or 4 months ago, dude.
I mean, that, like I said, I think if Jim Miller is a more crisp boxer, like I think if he's fighting, I think Bobby Green, before Jalen Turner took that fight, he was supposed to fight Dan Hooker. I think if you're fighting Dan Hooker, I don't like that fight too much, because I think Dan Hooker is a little bit more of a potent striker, and I think he can find his shots better. Jim Miller does have that power, but we do know that he loves to really get it down to the ground and really work his jiu-jitsu for his best game. So I think, that question is matchup dependent. And I think Jim Miller, even though he does hit hard, he's not necessarily the most technical striker I can see where Bobby Green kind of sees that as an advantage for him.
Yeah, I'm on the same way though. To you, I think Bobby Green is able to stuff the takedowns and just pick Jim Miller apart all 3 rounds. I don't know if he knocks Jim Miller out just because, Jim Miller's an old dog, dude. He's tough. And ever since he's got rid of the Lyme disease, dude, he's a whole different animal. Would it surprise me if Jim Miller came out here and beat Bobby Green at UFC 300, dude? It wouldn't. Just because I was like,
No.
Maybe it's just meant to be, dude. I am not going to be betting this fight, or if so, very, very little, dude. I have no confidence that Bobby Green is going to win this fight. I am picking Bobby Green to win this fight. I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's Jim fucking Miller.
It's gutsy, man. It's gutsy.
It's Jim fucking Miller.
Yeah, 100%, dude. 100%.
Right.
Jim Miller's the dog, man. So you can never count out them old dogs, man. You just never can. Like I said, he's got power too. So,
all right, dude. We will move on to the next one. Me and you are both on Bobby King Green there. So the next one is Bate Estaca, Jessica Andrade taking on Marina Rodriguez, dude. Another Brazil versus Brazil matchup here. So Bate Estaca, Jessica Andrade is 25-12, lost 3 of her last 5. Win against Lauren Murphy. 3 losses. Aaron Blanchfield rear naked choke. Yan Xiaonan ate a punch for dinner and went out. Dude, I don't know what happened there. And Tatiana Suarez submission, and then knocked out Mackenzie Dern 4 months ago. On the other hand, Marina Rodriguez is 17-3-2 in her last 5 fights. Decision win over Mackenzie Dern. A split decision win over Yan Xiaonan. Knockout loss to Amanda Lemos, a decision loss to Verna Jandiroba, and a knockout win over Michelle Watterson 6 months ago. Currently, odds for this fight, -142 for Jessica Andrade and +112 for Marina Rodriguez. Bate Estaca is 32 years old, 5'1", the baddest 5'1.5" package on the planet, according to John Anik, and a 62.5-inch reach. While Marina Rodriguez is 36 years old, 5'6", and a 65-inch reach. And it's my turn, so I will go off like this. D-Rose, I think out of Jessica Andrade's last fights, dude, it's like, let me start off like this. Jessica Andrade's path to victory is the grappling for sure. Yeah, like she could for sure out grapple like Marina Rodriguez, and I do believe she's the more powerful striker on the feet as well. It's just the distance and the range that may give her a little bit of difficulties. But I see a lot of people saying, that's the path to victory, but Jessica Andrade doesn't wrestle. She doesn't grapple. You just have to look back at the matchups. The last time we saw her grapple someone was, I think, Caitlin Chukagian, which then she ended up getting up and getting finished with the body shot anyway. But we see her grapple against people that she has a grappling advantage over. But in her last, 10 fights, anyone that she's beat, basically, she's had a striking advantage over. So she's just mollywhopping them on the feet. She doesn't need to take them down. As where, like Mackenzie Dern, you don't want to take Mackenzie Dern down. There's threat there. You don't want to try to take Tatiana Suarez down. There's threat there. That's where she wants to be at. Same for Aaron Blanchfield. The Yan Xiaonan fight, it's like, okay, that fight was 2 minutes long. She just ran it into a punch, dude. So I am going the favorite here. Give me Bate Estaca, Jessica Andrade to win a 3-round decision over Marina Rodriguez. Dude, Marina Rodriguez is tough, but I think we see Jessica Andrade use her grappling. What about you, man?
Again, another close fight. And I think you made a lot of good points there, especially, the way that Andrade just kind of lost those fights. But I do think, not to say that there's a little bit of MMA math involved, but
there's always
kind of go back to that. But you go back to the Yan Xiaonan fight, man. That is a fight that, although you can make the argument that Yan Xiaonan beat Marina Rodriguez, I mean, Marina Rodriguez.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can look at that fight just by how it played out. It was 2 minutes long, and she just ate a punch. And
No. I'm saying Marina Rodriguez. And,
okay, I got you.
Yeah. So they had that sense that. So they had that really close fight. So I'm not. Here's what I'm saying about the Yan Xiaonan and Jessica Andrade fight. We know Yan is a potent striker. She uses a lot of straight punches. That's a lot of what Marina Rodriguez does as well, is a lot of straight punches. And, those are a lot of the combos that she throws. And, that's how Jessica Andrade can walk into a counter shot. A lot of those times when she does, she beat Rose in the first fight by the slam. When she was on the feet with Rose was giving her the absolute business before Andrade was able to kind of get that slam. Second fight, whatever. It was a close fight. Andrade was able to land some shots there. Man, I think Marina Rodriguez is a little bit more of a technical striker, and I think she can actually give Andrade some problems if she can keep it on the feet. If Andrade does decide to take it to the ground, Andrade is super strong. We know the ground control that she's been able to use on some of the fighters down at 115, but I think if Marina Rodriguez can stay active, use her footwork, I think similar game plans are kind of like a Bobby Green, man. I could see her, using her boxing and riding off with a decision win here. So I'm actually going to take the dog and Marina Rodriguez here.
All right. So I am on the minus 142 favorite, and Jessica Andrade. D Rose is on the plus 112 dog in Marina Rodriguez. I know he wants to parade around. I'm going to take the dog here, but this is a pretty close fight. So we will have our second different pick of the night, I believe, where I'm on Jessica Andrade and D Rose on Marina Rodriguez. Should be an interesting fight, though. I'm excited for that one. I know you guys love women's MMA. Anyway, so we'll move on to the next one, dude. Another absolute banger. And I know I think we're going to have a different pick here from what you told me earlier in the week. But probably one of my two most confident picks on the entire card happens right here, dude. So with that being said, we've got Jalen the Tarantula Turner taking on Hanato Money Moicano, apparently. Jalen Turner is 14-7 overall. Money Moicano is 18-5-1 overall. Out of Jalen Turner's last 5 fights, he is 3-2. Knockout win over JB Malarkey, Brad Riddell submission win, lost 2 split decisions, which I believe he won both of those. But, that's for the judges, not me. And then knocked out Bobby King Green 3 or 4 times. Like, he should have 3 dubs right after this and just say Bobby King Green all on the same night, dude. Because he knocked them out 3 different times. Anyway, Money Moicano is 18-5-1 overall. Out of his last 5 fights, he is 4-1. Jesus Christ. Jai Herbert submission win. Alexander Hernandez submission win. Lost to RDA via decision up at 170, and Brad Riddell submission win, and Drew Dober decision win, which I thought Drew Dober won the fight, but that's just me because I bet Drew Dober. Anyway, currently odds for this fight are minus 265 for the Tarantula, Jalen Turner, and plus 200 for Money Moicano. Jalen Turner is 28 years old, 6'3", I almost said 5'3", 6'3" and 75-inch reach, while Money Moicano is 34 years old, 5'11", and a 72-inch reach. D Rose, it is your turn to break it down, my guy.
Yeah, another interesting fight, kind of a late add-on. I think this fight was rumored for UFC 301 in Brazil, then, just to kind of have it on here. Get that money. Moicano need money. Dude, I love the kind of personality that he's kind of built too. Like, he's kind of just become out of nowhere, just like this, this cult figure type, just as far as being, having the Money Moicano brand, people being excited to watch him fight, watching his podcast, watching his live streams and stuff like that. So I really do like the way he's kind of been able to build himself, as a star over the last year or so, really on the strength of himself, just being as natural as he can be. But I do think Jalen Turner, super potent striker, dangerous kicks, punches hard as hell. So I think the biggest thing, as far as his weakness, wrestling, defense, you can say he gets taken down a little bit, and he is good about getting up. You can go back in that Garbrandt fight and look, and you can see where, he was able to get up in some of those instances. But I do think what ultimately lost him that fight was that he wasn't able to get up enough in some of those earlier rounds to where Garbrandt was able to kind of use that ground control. I think Moicano has better leg kicks than Garbrandt, better striking, better boxing. And I think, as far as a submission threat, I think he's a much bigger submission threat than Garbrandt is. So I think this is a good matchup for Moicano. I think that's the reason why he took this fight, on such short notice, because it's a way for him to get into the rankings at 155. And I think if he's able to use his wrestling, able to, avoid some of the big shots from Jalen Turner. We've seen Jalen Turner get drug out in the later rounds against Dan Hooker and kind of, fade a little bit late. So, I think I'm going to go with I am going with the dog here because we're talking plus 200 range.
He is a dog. Exactly plus 200.
Yeah, he's plus 200. So, I am going the dog here, but I'm going Renato Moicano here, man.
All right. I feel like Moicano will edge it easier than people think. Beating Jai Herbert is a lot harder than people think. Look at this fight with Thiele. Yeah, fair enough. Dude, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. This is my most confident pick. One of my two most confident picks on the card, dude. I'm going Jalen Turner probably to knock out Renato Moicano in the first round, dude. One reason why, and you have to bring up the Dan Hooker fight, but the durability of the two are not the same. They have two different durability levels. Dan Hooker will be there all fucking day like a zombie, the New Zealand zombie, as where I've seen Moicano get fucking snoozed, dude. There's just a difference. I've seen Hooker get snoozed too, but it is what it is, dude. It's just Dan Hooker's, for Jalen Turner, so fucking big at 155, dude. 6'3", 155, and like a damn near 80-inch reach, dude. What the fuck, dude? How do you beat that? And dude, his round ones are always fucking terrifying. He's throwing head kicks at people. He's got power in both sides of his punches, left and right. And the dude's also a southpaw too, dude. You brought up the Garbrandt fight. He did get taken down, but I watched that fight back today. Dude, every time Jalen Turner got up, dude, he is so good at putting his back to the fence and getting up. He exposed his back maybe like for a half a second in the entire Garbrandt fight. I think he's very good at not giving up his back. So if he does get taken down, which I don't think Moicano's wrestling is as good as Gamrot's anyway, I don't even think he gets taken down. But if he does, I think he'll get up no issues and not give up his back on the way. But give me Jalen Turner to knock out Renato Moicano in the first round, dude. That is how I'm feeling. Let's see. Yes, I agree, Matt. I agree. And Matt beat knowing. There we go. And 100%. Yeah, dude. Chat's with me on this one, D. Well, actually, they were with you up there in the beginning while you were talking, and now they're with me. It is what it is. What can go really bad for Turner? Yeah, dude. Maybe I'm just
the ground game.
Maybe I'm just too confident in Jalen Turner this week, dude. Maybe I'm just too confident in him. Like, I don't know. I think he wins this fight everywhere. He's just so big. And even when he loses, it's by split decision. It's like, I don't know. But anyway, I'm going Jalen Turner, first round knockout. D Rose is on Renato. Money Moicano, I believe you. I don't know if you said by decision or submission, but it's got to be one of the two.
Yeah, one of the two for sure. I'm not sure the exact method because I can see a decision like Drew Dober as well. But yeah, I do think Moicano gets it done.
All right. So we will move on to the next one. Or here we got a comment right here. Maybe Money Moicano going to grab one of those big limbs early. Possibly. Man, just a specimen for the class. Matt, team for Matt. Hey, let's go, brother. Let's go. That's a great name. Anyway, next fight of the night. It is probably my favorite one that I'm looking forward to. So now that it's time, let's go ahead and get rid of this terrible ass UFC 300 shirt and get to the real one on the show. Diego Lopes, baby. Diego Lopes. So with that being said, let's get my screen pulled up here. And here we go. So next fight of the night, we do have Super Sadiq Yusuff taking on the best hair in the UFC. I believe
my favorite hair.
Yeah, D Rose's hair, dude. I believe his tattoo across his chest is the Michael Bisping quote. It's like dream, believe, and make it happen. That's what it says, dude. But I do love me some Diego Lopes, baby. It's Diego Lopes fight weekend, just one more time. Just because. Where is it at? Bang, there it is. Dude. D Rose, you know how big I am. The fact that he is bigger than me blows my mind, dude. Like,
And wait, 145.
145.
That's the crazy part,
dude. In that picture, I'm like a solid 180. I would guess 180. So, dude, it's just I'm like roughly 6 foot, about 180 pounds, and he's clearly bigger than me, dude. So, just absolutely nuts that he makes 145, and then just he fights like an absolute animal. How can you not be a fan of the guy? But let's get into it. Super Sadiq Yusuff is 13-3-0. Out of his last 5 fights, he is 3-2. Decision win over Andrade Figgy. Lost to Arnold Allen. Alex Caceres unanimous decision win. Choked out Don Shanis, which doesn't mean shit, and then lost to Edson Barboza after gassing after the first round, going for the kill. Diego Lopes, on the other hand, is 23-6 overall. His first fight in the UFC was a decision loss over Movsar Evloev, where he gave Movsar some problems in that fight. And then he submitted Gavin Tucker via arm triangle. Watched that in person. Sick. And then Pat Sabatini knocked him out, dude. Wow. I think I got that confused with the BSD head kick on the same night. But anyway, currently odds for this fight are -148 for Diego Lopes and +116 for Super Sadiq Yusuff. Super Sadiq is 30 years old, 5'9" and a 71-inch reach, while Diego Lopes is 29 years old, 5'11" and a 72-inch reach. Is it my turn or your turn? I believe it's your turn, right?
I thought it was yours because I just did Turner and Moicano.
Oh yeah. So
I could do
yeah,
I could do
no. So that's why I took off the 300 shirt, because it's my time, baby. I hear you're like laughing. Is it because what's happening?
Yeah, because you had mentioned where you said you had mixed up the him finishing Sabatini and the BSD hit. I completely forgot about that.
Right
until you just said that, and that just just made me laugh thinking about it.
Yeah, should have ripped it Hulk Hogan style. I was going to, brother, but I think I might do something cool with that shirt after. So it would have been cool to like rip it because it's an old shirt, but I feel like I might do something cool with that shirt after. The only way Jalen can end up losing is via submission, and I think that's slim. I agree with you, Jay Wolf. Pulled a 1 out of 150 Diego Lopes. Dude, that's a sick card. That is a sick card. Congratulations on that, brother. Looks like a teenager in 2008. Here we go. There, Scream Panic at the Disco. Diego looked like a welterweight in that pic. Dude, massive, but yeah, just huge. Star building fight. Diego, first round sub. I like it. Ed Silva. UFC sees he will probably finish. A lot of eyes watching because it's 300. Bet finish easy. Diego Lopes, 3rd round KO. Diego by decision. That's what the chat's doing, dude. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. D-Rose, do you ever remember me picking Super Sadiq Yusuff in any fight we've talked about ever? You can probably go back on the podcast forever. I probably even picked him. I may have picked him to beat Don Shanis. But aside from that, dude, I may have even picked Don Shanis to beat Sadiq Yusuff, dude. I think
you picked Sadiq Yusuff, but I remember you said James Krause was telling everybody to be aware of Don Shanis. So I do remember you saying that.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. But I just dude, it's like Sadiq, he's a good fighter. But it's almost like he comes in there with one game plan and can't adjust when his game plan doesn't work. Like him, like versus Arnold Allen, dude. He was doing good until Arnold hit him with that like delayed shot and hurt him. And in the rest of the fight, he just didn't really know what to do. He just kept getting hurt from that point on. And in his like last fight against Edson, I guess he thought he could go out there and finish an older Edson early. And when he couldn't, I don't know if he was just gassed or he couldn't adjust, dude, but Edson beat the shit out of him for the remaining 4 rounds, dude. I know the strike counts are about even, but a lot of those strikes were from Sadiq Yusuff in the first round, dude. That fight probably could have been stopped, but it wasn't. And, just kind of odd to see what happens when Sadiq's first game plan. It really bothers me, dude. And, I'm not picking against the guy that I got a shirt on, got a picture of, and I think he's an absolute animal, dude. So give me Diego Lopes to knock out Sadiq Yusuff, dude. I've seen Sadiq Yusuff get knocked out a couple times, and Diego Lopes throws absolute heat. So yeah, give me Diego Lopes via knockout. Which way are you going here, brother?
Yeah, I'm a fan of Sadiq Yusuff, and I'm a fan of Diego Lopes, man. Both fighters, as you see, you give me the Diego Lopes hair for a reason. I love me some Diego Lopes as well, and I'll keep it short and sweet here, man. I am going to go Diego Lopes here. I know you probably thought I was going to go Sadiq here, but yeah, I think Diego Lopes just having the more tools in his game to be able to just have more ways to finish a fight. And I think, you go back to that Malzahar fight, even him taking that fight on short notice, his gas tank still held up well there in that third round, where I think Sadiq, as you said, the later the fight, tends to go, he kind of has one game plan, sticks to it. And, a lot of times it's effective, but there's really no adjustments really being made from him. Where I think Diego Lopes, again, as you said, good with the hands, got good submissions. I think you would very well see a club and stuff here. I might even be willing to play something maybe like a Diego Lopes submission, second or third round, just to potentially see what those types of odds would be. But yeah, I'm going to go Diego Lopes here.
Yeah, I don't hate it. That prop, dude, what if he cracks him early, dude? It's just like with the momentum that Diego Lopes is on right now, nothing would surprise me, dude. He might go in there and have the fastest knockout in UFC history. Who even knows, dude? This dude is on a goddamn rocket ship, and I am here for it. Let's go, Diego Lopes. Me and D Rose on the same side. And if you picked against him, D Rose, I was 100% going to let you know that you have no more hair privileges. From this point on, if you picked against them, but D-Rose picked the hair, so he gets to keep the hair for the podcast.
Yeah. Hey, that prop, by the way, on FanDuel by submission, second or third round for Diego Lopes, plus 700. So
yeah, not terrible. I think I would probably lean more toward the 1 or 2, like just the 1 or 2 prop. Yeah, but just like the 1 or 2 prop as a whole. What is it? Let's see. Diego Lopes round 1 or 2 is plus 170, dude. But I don't know. I don't know if that's enough. To be honest, I would want at least plus 200 on that, I think. But yeah, here we go. Next fight of the night, if it happens, dude, we've got Holly Holm taking on Kayla Harrison. The preacher's daughter, Holly Holm, 15-6 overall out of her last 5 fights. We have a decision win over your current champion, Raquel Pennington, 4 years ago. 3 years, 6 months ago, a decision win over Irina Aldana, lost to Caitlin Vieira via split decision. Yana Santos beat her via unanimous decision and then got choked out by Mayra Bueno Silva. But Mayra Bueno Silva was on Adderall or some kind of ADHD medication. On the other hand, Kayla Harrison is 16-1. Her only loss ever was to Larissa Pacheco that, wasn't even good enough to cut it in the UFC. Jermaine Durandamy beat her up. I saw her in the highlights this past weekend. Just Jermaine Durandamy crushing Larissa Pacheco. It's like, that's hilarious. Anyway, currently odds for this fight are plus 320 for Holly Holm and minus 460 for Kayla Harrison. Holly Holm, 42 years old, 5'8" and a 69-inch reach, while Kayla Harrison is 33 years old, 5'8" and a 66-inch reach. Dude, so Holly Holm going to have the longer reach and going to be the same size overall. Kinda. I guess I'm going to pass it to you, D-Rose, but I have to start off with asking you, is she going to even make 135 pounds? I think she was scheduled. I think Kayla Harrison's made 145 pounds like twice. Every other one of her fights was at 155, dude. This fight's at 135 pounds. So I'm going to pass it to you, dude. Give me your thoughts and give me your pick.
Yeah, this is it's interesting. I'll just say it. I'm gonna go Kayla Harrison here. I do think that she has good judo, has good wrestling. And I do think that's where you can get Holly Holm. You know, we saw Mayra Bueno Silva able to get that get that standing choke against Holly Holm there, using her effective grappling. And I think that Kayla Harrison is going to come in, strong and ready if she's able to make the weight. So that's what I'm going to be curious to see. Of course, weigh-ins aren't until Friday, but yeah, I'm going to be curious to see this weight cut, man, because I know she said that there were comments out there where she said she would never make 130 or she would never cut down to 135. But I think it was more so a thing of she didn't really want to more versus the thing that not necessarily a thing that she can't make the weight. I heard her in her interview earlier, her pre-fight interview, and she seemed super confident, set her weights on point. Never revealed her actual weight, but said weights on point. Her diet's going well, and all that stuff, man. So she seems super confident going in here. So I think if she's super confident, man, yeah, I think I want to go Kayla here. I think I want to go by decision, because I do think that she might not be able to get the submission necessarily, but I do think she dominates for all 3 rounds and gets a decision win.
Yeah, I'm also going to keep this short. I am with you. I am going to go Kayla by decision, dude. But one thing, dude, I remember I was probably one of the only people that I knew, dude, that knew anything about Holly Holm before she head kicked Ronda Rousey. I picked Holly Holm to beat Ronda Rousey in that fight because I was like, dude, Ronda's striking's ass. She just grabs girls and just tosses them down, dude. What happens if she can? And dude, we saw what happened. Could this be Holly Holm versus Ronda Rousey 2 for the most part? It could be, dude. Holly Holm's 42 now, dude. But I mean, she hasn't really, I don't want to say hasn't looked like she's declined any, because over the past few fights, dude, it's like, I don't know, dude. You're looking like a 42-year-old Holly Holm out there, and it just isn't pretty, dude. This fight is getting 0 bits of my money, dude. I'm staying far away from this fight. I'm going to pick Kayla Harrison to win this fight via decision, but I want no parts of betting this fight. And D-Rose, I like to bet on damn near every single fight. This one, I'm like, no. Dude, I will pass completely on this one. So, I guess me and you are both on the UFC newcomer. That is Kayla Harrison, correct?
Yep, by decision.
All right, by decision. So our next fight of the night, I'm interested in your thoughts on this fight, D-Rose, because these odds to me don't make any sense. Are you still there?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I don't know. Your screen turned black for a second on my end. I wasn't sure if you were still there or not. Let's see here.
Still rocking at least. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So
nice.
Here we go. Kayla just looks like she would get beat up. This entire chat. She would definitely beat up this entire chat. Kayla's going to miss weight the fight. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel, Austin. That's why I don't want to bet on it, because I'm scared it's just going to avoid my parlay, and I don't want that to happen. Is Kayla a better striker than Ronda? Probably not. Yeah. Maybe. This is
from
going
what
to be
I've
an interesting fight.
I mean, she's got like decent leg kicks. Ronda never really
I think she's got power,
kick,
as where Ronda was. Dude, Ronda was beating up soccer moms. Ronda was beating up soccer moms. There were no female fighters really. It was just like these girls that are like, yeah, let me try that, and that's the people that Ronda Rousey was beating up. Like, dude. She won the title by beating who? Like Betch Correa, dude? Come on,
it was Liz Caramucci that she ended up beating. But,
but what was that? What?
No, she did beat Betch Correa though. She did beat Betch Correa. She beat Liz Caramucci for the inaugural 135.
I think I remember that fight. That was like Betch Correa, the best striker that Ronda Rousey had like ever fought, and it would just show the highlights. just the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, dude. She's like, blam, just getting kicked by Holly Holm.
Yeah, and then freaking like Ronda, like doing the shadow box, and is literally swinging her hips more than she is her damn arms when she's punching the damn bags. like what is Shakira playing in the background? Like, oh, I'm on tonight and my hips don't lie. Like,
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'm not betting on that fight, dude. I'm not betting on that fight. Here we go, dude. Up next, we do have the Funk Master, Aljamain Sterling, taking on the Boston finisher, Calvin Kattar. Is that a new thing, D-Rose? The Boston finisher?
Has to be, because I've not heard that before now.
I've never heard that. Yeah, I've never heard that before, and I usually try to stay on top of it. But here we go. The Boston finisher, Calvin Kattar, 23-7 overall, while the Funk Master, Aljamain Sterling, 23-4 overall. Out of Calvin Kattar's last 5 fights, he has won 2 of them. Last fight was Arnold Allen blew out his knee a year and a half ago, and Aljo got knocked out by Sean O'Malley 7 months ago, down at 135. Currently, odds for this fight are a minus 180 for Aljamain Sterling and a plus 140 for Calvin Kattar. I don't know. Calvin Kattar, 36 years old, 5'11" and a 72-inch reach, while Aljamain Sterling is 34 years old, 5'7" and a 71-inch reach. Is it my turn or your turn, D-Rose?
It is my turn.
Okay. So, well, I should have had this up on the screen. I apologize. I'll leave that up there for a second.
Yeah, no, you're actually no, I believe it's yours, but I'll go ahead and take this because I know you're asking me my thoughts on this one, and I do think the betting line is a little bit interesting. I gotta think that's just people paying respect to Aljo being the former champ, So I think Calvin Kattar, obviously he's got great boxing, good takedown defense. And as far as everything else, he's very well rounded, and we know, versatile striking, elbows, kicks, knees, all that stuff. He's good at throwing everything. But I think Aljamain, the Boston finisher is that's brutal, man. Like that's awful, dude. That literally sounds like a second grader came up with that, and he just kind of ran with it after he had some kid that he signed his autograph for or something like that. But no, I think for me, I'm going to go Aljo here. And I think because it obviously is wrestling, I think that's going to be a big part. You could say that Calvin Kattar does have good takedown defense. And I think I heard a stat the other day saying that he had over 90% takedown defense rate, but he hasn't really faced that many wrestlers down in that division. I mean, I think really besides, Zabit, who has he really fought that's really a wrestler? I mean, he's fought Danny Gay, Arnold Allen.
Dude, that was one of the fights that I remember you pointing to a lot. Going back, because I was a huge Zabit fan. You're like, dude, in that Calvin Kattar fight, he was losing that,
he lost. No, I always pointed back to it to say, it was a main event that was 3 rounds. And I said, had that fight have been 5 rounds, I think Kattar would have won because the beat was literally gassed in the 3rd round. Where I think in this fight, Aljo has never had an issue with gas tank down at 135. So you're moving him up a weight class.
Wait, you say he didn't have a gas tank issue at 135? What about the first Jan fight?
Well, and I think part of that too was just he just ended up getting hurt early too. Yeah, he did gas a little bit. Yeah, well, he couldn't get the takedowns, but he was also getting rocked. He got rocked plenty of times in those first 2 rounds. So I think as long as he can avoid the big shots and work himself in, when it came down to that fight with him and Henry Cejudo, it was really a fight of will because it came down to their wrestling at the end, and I think he was really able to kind of out cardio and outpace Henry in that fight, and I think he outpaced Peter Yan in their second fight as well. So I think he can use a similar game plan here to stifle Calvin Kattar, and I'm gonna go Aljo by decision here.
All right, D-Rose, me and you are split on this one, my guy. We are going opposites. Dude, that's the same frame that Aljo just got knocked out by. 5'11", same reach, dude. Clean boxing. Dude. Calvin Kattar will do dirty things to people on the feet, and I think he's got solid takedown defense, and Aljamain's striking is ass. So, dude, if Aljamain cannot get Calvin Kattar down, he's fucked. He's literally fucked. Could you imagine Aljamain on the feet with Calvin Kattar in a boxing match for 3 rounds, dude? How would that look? That would look terrible, dude.
Yeah, I mean, for a boxing match, yeah, I'm not going to imagine Aljo as the greatest boxer, but Aljo does have good kicks though. He has good he has a good rear kick, good body kicks, good leg kicks too. And that's another weapon that Renato Moicano used against Calvin Kattar in their fight too. You know, he used a lot of his leg kicks to win too. So
I have to go the other way, D-Rose. I don't think Aljamain should be the favorite. I think he's a minus 180 favorite, and I think it should be the opposite.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Personally think Aljamain's biggest advantage was being kind of a size bully down at 135 because he like walks around 175, 165, some shit like that. He's cutting 35, 45 pounds to make 135. So he used his size a lot to get this takedowns and shit down there, to lay on people, to get that backpack and hold them there. At 145, I don't know if he's able to even implement the same game plan. I think Calvin Kattar is going to be much too big, much too strong, stuff the takedowns and box up Aljamain Sterling. Maybe even knock Aljamain Sterling out late second round, third round, something like that. So give me Calvin Kattar to knock out Aljamain Sterling in the third round. That's what I'm saying. It is going to be an interesting one, dude. I'm surprised you went Aljo there. I really am.
Yeah. No, I don't like that betting line, and I probably won't bet that fight. But yeah, man, I do. I like Aljo a lot.
All right. So we will move on to the main event of the prelims now, D-Rose. So going to be an interesting. Let's see. We got. Wow, I'm behind. We got Kattar will rock Aljo. That's what I am saying. Tough fight for Aljo. He stays standing on the feeders with Kate. Wow, if he stays standing with Kattar, he's going to starch him. But I think Aljo takes him down, wins close decision from Randy Poppy. Kattar, an elite boxer. Jay Wolf saying Aljo getting KO'd. Thought Max Holloway proved Kattar isn't an elite boxer. What we saw happen from Usyk moving up after dominating a division for a while. Maybe. All right. So, D-Rose, let's get into this one. We have the main event of the prelims, which is Yuri Dinesa or BJP Prochazka taking on Alexander Rakic. Yuri Prochazka is 29-4-1 overall. His only loss out of his last 5 fights is getting knocked out by Alex Pereira 4 months ago. On the other hand, Alexander Rakic, 14-3 overall out of his last 5 fights, lost to Volkan Ozdemir split decision in a terrible fight, and then blew out his leg against Jan Blachowicz a year and 10 months ago. Currently, odds for this fight are minus 104 for Yuri Prochazka and a minus 122 for Alexander Rakic. So it looks like Alexander Rakic, slight favorite here. Yuri Prochazka, 31 years old, 6'3" and an 80-inch reach, while Alexander Rakic, 32 years old, 6'4" and a 78-inch reach. So you know what it's time for, baby. You thought I wasn't coming prepared? You thought I wasn't coming prepared? Yuri Prochazka, baby. Let's go.
He's layered up with all the shirts. Yeah, I mean, he's got every shirt known to man on right now as far as UFC fighters go.
All right. Yuri Prochazka. I can't pick against him. He is my guy, dude. Yeah, Alexander Rakic, I know personally he's your favorite fighter, dude. You find him to me to be the most exciting fighter on the UFC roster. He made you want to watch prelims forever. But yeah, that being said, dude, I think first of all, I don't want to bet this fight. I am going to pick Yuri to win because he's one of my favorite fighters to watch, but kind of like Trevor Peek's one of my favorite fighters to watch. He's just entertainment, excitement. Can I guarantee he's going to win? No, but I mean, you look at it at his fights, dude. The only time he's losing is when he's getting knocked out, dude. And I don't think Alexander Rakic is knocking anyone out. I don't think he could finish a glass of water beside his bed at night, dude. It's just The dude's boring as shit, and he's only going to win by decision. That's the only way Alexander Rakic is going to win. So give me Yuri Prochazka to knock out Alexander Rakic at some point throughout this fight. I think Alexander Rakic is going to be maybe leg kicking Yuri throughout the fight, winning every bit of it until Yuri just charges his fucking chakra and yeets him. Just yeets him one time. Yuri Prochazka knockout over Alexander Rakic. Which way are you going, brother?
Yeah, I'll keep this one short too. And as unfortunately as I hate to say it, yeah, I think Rakic gets a boring ass decision win here, man. As much as we don't want to see Yuri in a boring fight, I was upset when they announced it because I knew that Rakic was capable of making a boring ass fight, and that's likely what he's going to do here. Hold Yuri down for as long as he can, or just keep the reins for as long as he can, and throw leg kicks until he can make it to the end of 15 minutes. So I think he gets a decision win here.
That upsets me. Now I wish I had like fucking Poeton like written across my chest so I could just go shirtless for the main event. I'm not that prepared. I only had a few shirts. So D Rose going Alexander Rakic boring decision.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Dude, I hope not. Because if there is one fighter that can make Yuri Prochazka be in a boring fight, it would be Alexander Rakic, dude. I hope we don't see that. Dude,
unfortunately, he's good, and that's the problem.
Debatable.
Well, he's solid for that weight class. That weight class, he's solid.
Yeah, so D Rose on Alexander Rakic. I am on Yuri Prochazka. So we will move on to the main card, D Rose. Main card time, and we are opening the main card with a fight that is one for the history books, if you will. So we do have the UFC's bright young prospect, Penn State All-American wrestler Bo Nickal, taking on D Rose's favorite fighter, Cody Brundage, dude. So Bo Nickal is 5-0, obviously won all 5 of his last fights, while Cody Brundage 10-5, won 2 of his last fights, one of which was by disqualification after snoozing. After snoozing Jacob Malkoon, and then just couldn't stop hitting him after. Anyway, dude, we got the biggest favorite in UFC history. Currently, odds for this fight are minus 3,000 for Bo Nickal and plus 1,000 for Cody Brundage, dude. Bo Nickal, 28 years old, 6'1", 76-inch reach. Cody Brundage, 29 years old, 6 foot, 72-inch reach. I believe it's your turn, so I'm gonna let you say what you gotta say about it.
Yeah, not too much. The only bit of breakdown that I can give for you is do not bet this fight. Just whatever you do not bet this fight because the money line's not juicy enough. And Cody Brundage will somehow, some way, if you bet him to win, he will lose. If you bet him to lose, he will win. He is the ultimate bet buster, and he will screw you whether you take him or you take his opponent. He will crush your bet slip every time. Do not bet this fight. Bo Nickal by knockout.
Or if you want to be real risky, guarantee yourself a lock, you can bet $3,000 on Bo Nickal to win $100 back.
Absolutely sick.
Dude, no, dude. Bo first ground and pound. I'm putting 5 on Brundage. And that's what you should probably do, dude. In reality, we're all talking shit, but if we all don't put like $1 on Brundage round 1, dude, what are we doing? Because that's his path to victory. If Brundage don't win in the first round, he ain't winning, dude. So he can go out there and shut the lights off on Bo Nickal. And dude, do we even have options for that? Cody Brundage to win in round 1, dude, is plus 3,400. So you put $1 on that, I think it's $340. if he knocks out Bo Nickal in the first round. Dude. Crazy for the ridiculous plus money. Exactly, man. Exactly. I'm throwing some dollars on Brundage because why not? It makes sense, you know. At worst, you're just going to lose your money. Bo Nickal, third round TKO from Derek Jufre, and then Dana would cry if Bo lost. He definitely would. Yeah, I don't know if you made your pick, D-Rose.
Yeah, I said Bo Nickal by KO.
Okay, I'm going Bo Nickal round one submission, dude. Cody Brundage loves getting submitted, and you know that more than anyone.
Dude, unbelievable the bet buster he is. Even times I bet on him, like he's lost. I bet on him to lose, he wins. That's just Cody Brundage at his best.
Yeah, dude. I don't think I have the run that you have betting Cody Brundage fights. I've won quite a few times of betting on Cody Brundage. Like in the Jacob Malkoon fight, I said he was going to knock out Jacob Malkoon in the first round, and he wins by disqualification in the first round. So I still get the dub. So I can't even be mad at it. I can't even be mad. So up next, D-Rose, we have another fantastic fight. Another one that odds also don't make sense to me at all either. So, yeah, that last one was kind of short, so I'm going to pass this one to you, and I'm going to let you break it down first. But let's do it like this. Charles do Bronx Oliveira, 34-9 overall. In his last 5 fights, he is 4-1, while Arman Tsaryukan, not going to try to say his fight name, is 21-3 overall. Also 4-1 out of his last 5. Currently, odds for this fight are plus 176 for Charles do Bronx Oliveira, as where Arman Tsaryukan is minus 230, your favorite. Charles Oliveira is 34 years old, 5'10", and a 74-inch reach, while Arman Tsaryukan is 27 years old, 5'7", and a 72-inch reach. D-Rose, break it down, brother.
Yeah, man, another fun fight. Again, this is one that could very well headline any fight night card or be the co-main event of any pay-per-view card. It's a badass fight, and I think for me, I think, you know, Charles Oliveira, we know the resume that he has of all the champs and former champs that he's beaten, and we know his only loss is to Islam within that last stretch that he's had. So not like he's losing to chumps while absolutely beating the best of the best. And for Arman, you know, since that Garbrandt loss, you know, he has really kind of put it together. And we saw how potent he was in that last fight against Benil Dariush, where he's able to finish the fight. You know, you could say at any moment with any ability. But man, I think I'm going to go Charles Oliveira, man. And I think the reason why I think he's a little bit more of a potent striker. My only wish is that if Arman goes for the takedown, that Charles Oliveira is not as prone to do is to try and pull guard. And if he's just able to,
he's going to jump that gear. He's going to jump that guillotine.
Either jump the guillotine or jump the triangle, or he's just going to pull guard. And that's what I don't want him to do, man, because, man, I think when it comes to just the pure striking, his setups and stuff like that, man, I don't think Arman has anything that Charles has not seen before. And I think Charles has, you know, unbelievable power. You know, he can get a lot of club and subs. You know, Justin Gaethje said that is the hardest that he has ever been hit, was when he is hit by Charles Oliveira. So Charles Oliveira clearly has the power, as we know, and the most submission wins in UFC history. So I want to go Charles Oliveira here, man. And I think he gets it done by a knockout.
All right. Fair enough, D-Rose. I kind of gave him a little hint at the beginning. The line to me is off just a little bit. And if you thought I was done, you're wrong, baby. Do Bronx, Charles Oliveira, illuminate. My God, baby, we got another shirt. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, we're just playing like strip poker now, or like
I don't know where my AirPod went. I lost my AirPod.
Yeah, he's got a shirt for each fighter. I mean, Austin, I think you're right, man. At this point, looks like he's going to be playing a little bit of strip poker. I mean, I got to think he's going to start running out of shirts here soon, and just probably going to start like taking off his pants and showing off his underwear and what he got here next.
I have no more shirts. I have no more shirts. That's my last shirt, dude.
I did notice you looked a little girthy in that UFC 300 shirt earlier, but I didn't want to say too much because I was like,
You're
yeah,
like,
he's
damn,
got
Matt,
another
you've been
shirt
gaining
on
weight.
under. So.
You've been gaining weight, dude.
Yeah, but I had no idea you had 12 shirts on at the same time.
Four shirts.
Yeah, no wonder your fingertips are red. You have no circulation going through your arms because they're all like sucked into the shirt there.
I've been so hot this whole podcast, dude, wearing 4 shirts. But anyway, dude, I personally think this looks a lot like the Michael Chandler fight. Whether he subs Armin or he just knocks him down and just finishes off with some ground and pound, I think this looks a lot like the Michael Chandler fight. You just look back, you just see Armin Tsaryukan getting, I don't want to say dropped bad, but he got hurt by Joaquim Silva. And if Joaquim Silva had any sort of like finishing instinct, he probably could have finished Armin Tsaryukan in his last fight, dude. So I think Armin's striking defense is pretty terrible, and it's something that he could work on. His striking offense is pretty good, but he can get hit and he can get hurt. So I am going Charles Oliveira to finish Armin Tsaryukan as well. So let's see here. We got Armin looks juiced. We got you won't. Okay, that's where we were at. Armin easy. Charles going to catch him with a straight shot via Garbrandt TKO. I like it, Austin. I like it. I can see him pulling a cobra choke. Armin will give the throw every time he reaches for the single leg. Armin is the second best lightweight behind Islam. Okay, I was training with Mackenzie there in Brazil, and she got me in a mounted triangle, and I wouldn't. I bet you did, John. I bet you did. Matt's been cutting alongside Kayla. Yeah, I'm gonna weigh in tomorrow at 135 as well, dude. We probably walk around at the same weight. That's the crazy part. I'm glad y'all got faith in Charles like that. I'm sure I sure don't at this point. It's okay, man. It's okay. You don't have to. At the end of the day, it's a fist fight, and anything can happen. So acting like you're right 100% of the time would just be a lie, because there's no way. You can't be right all the time. It's, people lose all the time that you think are going to win. So me and D Rose are both on Garbrandt, Charles Oliveira to finish Armin Tsaryukan.
Yeah, I think by knockout.
Okay, so it's title fight time, D Rose. If y'all haven't already, do you boys a favor and hit a thumbs up button on the video, because it's time to talk about the BMF title fight between Justin Gaethje and Max Blessed Holloway.
Oh.
Dude, two of your favorites, two of your actual favorites. I know I've been joking the whole time about Cody Brundage being your favorite and, things like that. But these are actually two of your favorites, dude. So here we go. Let's get into it. We've got Justin the Highlight Gaethje 25-4 overall, while Max Blessed Holloway is 25-7 overall. Of Justin Gaethje's last 5 fights, he is 1-3 and lost 2. A loss 3 years ago to Khabib Nurmagomedov in the championship, and then a loss to Charles Oliveira. And since then, he has beat Michael Chandler, beat Rafael Fiziev via decision, and then knocked out Dustin Poirier with a Hogan boot 8 months ago, if you ask DP. While Max Blessed Holloway, dude, he's fighting Max just fights so often, dude. It's like, dude, I feel like his 2 fights against like fucking Volk were like 2 years ago, dude. And one is a year and 9 months ago, but I don't know. I just kind of, dude, the timeline throws me off. But anyway, last knocked out the Korean Zombie 7 months ago and beat Arnold Allen via decision. Currently odds for this fight are -178 for Justin Gaethje and a +138 for Max Blessed Holloway. Currently odds for Justin Gaethje is 35 years old, 5'11", and a 70-inch reach, while Max Holloway is 32 years old, 5'11", and a 69-inch reach. This is the other spot on the card, D Rose, with my other most confident pick, and that is Justin Gaethje to beat Max Holloway, dude. I'm going to end up parlaying Jalen Turner and Justin Gaethje. I think I'm going to put $300 on it for UFC 300. The payout right now is +111, so it's like 300 to win 638, 640, something like that. I'm going to wait till Friday before I actually place it, though. See if the odds change anymore. Hopefully I can get a better line, but who knows? But my two most confident picks, Jalen Turner and Justin Gaethje. I'm going to parlay them up, and I'm probably going to end up putting a $300 bet for UFC 300. It'll be the biggest bet I've ever made. So most confident picks on the card. Yeah, dude, Max, he's good down at 145, but he just doesn't have the power for 155. And we saw that against Dustin, dude. Dustin just knocking him all over the octagon. And dude, Justin hits way hard. I don't know if he hits way harder, but if you've talked to the fighters, everyone says that Justin Gaethje is the hardest hitter they've ever felt, dude. And the leg kicks, dude, Max got some skinny ass legs. Leg kicks tend not to bother him down at 145, but Justin Gaethje's leg kicks up at 155. Max does not check leg kicks. He'll just eat them over and over and over. So, dude, I just feel like the damage is going to add up over time. And at some point, I think we see Max get knocked out for the first time in his career. I know he's been submitted, but never been dropped or knocked out. I think we get a doctor stoppage or referee stoppage this weekend. Justin Gaethje finishing Max Holloway. What's your thoughts on this fight, man?
Yeah, man, as you said, two of my favorites, and this is one of those fights, man, where obviously there's got to be a winner and a loser, but you just want the fight to like somehow go to like a draw or something like that, or something to where no one's got to lose this fight. This should be like not an exhibition match in terms of, oh, we're not going to go hard, but I think this shouldn't count towards their record or any standing as far as title aspirations or anything like that. Because I think Max could be fighting for the 145 belt, and Gaethje really should be fighting for the 155 belt right now. I remember when this fight was first announced, and I had said that I was shocked that Gaethje was even taking it, because I thought Gaethje should be fighting for the title already. But as far as this fight goes, yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't think Gaethje gets a KO, but I do think Gaethje gets the job done, and I think the biggest thing is just the power difference. I think Max will be able to, use his volume. He's going to land some good shots against Gaethje. And to be honest, I heard him in his interview as well. And, he is pretty beefed up right now. And he's making sure that he's bulking up properly. So I do think we're going to get a little bit more of a better effort in terms of managing the weight on Max Holloway's part going into the fight with Justin Gaethje. So I don't think he's going to get completely blown out of the water. But typically when it comes down to the judging and the scoring of the fights, a lot of times it comes down to the damage that ends up getting done by the fighter and the impact of those shots. And typically those big thudding, damaging shots always are coming from the Justin Gaethje side. And I think that's what's going to get him the dub here. I don't think he gets a finish. I'm the decision king, so let's go with another decision here. But I think it's going to be an absolute barn burner of a fight. So I think it's going to live up to the hype, but I think Justin Gaethje gets it done.
All right, me and D Rose both on the highlight Justin Gaethje to retain the BMF title this weekend. So up next, we have your co-main event of the evening in a all-China battle. China versus China, if you will. I'm surprised they didn't actually do this in China, but it is UFC 300 at the fight capital of the world in Las Vegas. So here we go. We have Magnum Zhang Weili taking on 9 Yan Xiaonan. That's the first one for me as well. Anyway, Magnum Zhang Weili is 24-3 overall out of her last 5 fights. She is 1-3 and lost 2, but won her last 3. As were Yan Xiaonan, 17-3 overall out of her last 5 fights. 1-3, lost 2. She has won her last 2 knockout over Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade just found that punch with her face, dude. And then decision win over Mackenzie Dern. Lost to Marina Rodriguez. And then the one that makes me never want to pick her ever, dude, is this one right here. Carla Esparza, TKO, ground and pound from Crucifix. 2 years and 10 months ago, dude. I don't know if I will ever get over that. Anyway, currently odds for this fight are plus 340 for Yan Xiaonan and minus 500 for Magnum Zhang Weili. So odds have changed from Tapology here. Magnum Zhang Weili, 34 years old, 5'4", 63-inch reach, while Yan Xiaonan, 34 years old, 5'5", and a 63-inch reach. So Yan Xiaonan going to be an inch taller, but aside from that, measurables are the same, dude. Both 34 years old. Magnum Zhang Li was your first Chinese champion, but Yan Xiaonan was your first female Chinese fighter, dude. So both have a little bit of history here. But, dude, yeah, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I know you probably will, too. You get ground and pound crucifix TKO'd by Carla Esparza in her only knockout ever on her entire career, dude. Not a good looking, dude. She was so bloody, dude. It's like, dude, she bloodied Yan Xiaonan up so bad. It's just like, I can't.
Her whole shirt was like covered in blood. I remember she had on the white shirt, and she was completely. Carla was completely covered in Yan Xiaonan's blood after the fight. It was crazy.
It was crazy, dude. Yeah, and just, dude, Zhang Weili just seems to be the much better overall fighter. She has more paths to victory. If this is on the feet for all 5 rounds, I'm sure this could go either way. But Yan Xiaonan is an excellent fighter. She has fantastic fight IQ, and her grappling and wrestling advantage is off the charts compared to Yan Xiaonan. It's not even close to the same level. So give me Yan Xiaonan to probably submit. I mean, give me Zhang Weili to probably submit Yan Xiaonan. But if she has too much respect for her, I could see her writing out this decision win like she did Amanda Lemos, kind of. Because Amanda Lemos' fight was a one-sided beatdown, dude. But I feel like she could have finished, but almost like, I don't know, she just was practicing her skills a little too much. So I don't know if Zhang Weili will have too much respect for Yan Xiaonan, or if she'll come in here with the I'm the #1 Chinese female star. Let me get this stamp of approval, finish Yan Xiaonan. But I don't know. Give me Magnum Zhang Weili to submit Yan Xiaonan. Which way are you going here, man?
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet here as well. Again, Yan Xiaonan, she's a potent striker, good footwork. She's a good athlete. And yeah, I do think if Weili does decide to keep it standing, it's going to be a little bit of a closer fight than what these odds have it as. Those odds are crazy right now. I believe what Weili is a -500 favorite right now, so absolutely crazy. But yeah, I do think that Weili gets it done here. I just think, as you said, more paths to victory here. We know how she's been working on her wrestling in her last few fights. She used wrestling against Rose, even though she ended up coming up short in that fight. She was able to submit Carla Esparza with her wrestling, and she was able to really dominate Amanda Lemos with her wrestling. So I think you're going to see a similar path in this fight here. I'm going to say Weili gets the finish. I don't know if it's going to be by submission or if it's going to be by a ground and pound, but I do think there's definitely a Weili finish in the future here.
All right, so me and D-Rose both on the strawweight champion, Magnum Zhang Weili, to finish Yan Xiaonan. Interesting, dude. Yeah, I guess I would have expected, I don't know. I guess I expected Tatiana Suarez next. And when it was Yan Xiaonan, I was like, okay. That kind of like that's an easy dub for Zhang, dude. But Tatiana Suarez versus Zhang, that's going to be the one that we're all looking forward to. But hey, dude, we can't look forward too much because, as I said, dude, it's a fist fight. Yan Xiaonan might be and new this weekend, dude. You never know. All right, dude. Time for the main event of the evening. We've got Alex Pereira taking on Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill. D-Rose going to be having some sweet dreams after this podcast because I see him yawning and wiping his eyes up on it. We got Pereira.
I can't get a hair in my eye. Like I had like 3 hairs in my eye. I did yawn once, twice.
We got Alex Pereira taking on Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill. 9-2 overall. Only loss out of his last 5 is to Izzy, and with a knockout. And where Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill is 12-1 overall. Only loss was to Paul Craig. It says TKO, but he got his arm broke. Anyway, currently odds for this fight are -140 for Alex and +110 for Sweet Dreams Jamal Hill. Alex is 36 years old, 6'4" and an 80-inch reach, while Jamal Hill is 32 years old, 6'4" and a 79-inch reach. So Alex and Jamal, same height. Alex going to have a 1-inch reach advantage, dude. I'm going to let you break this one down, man. Go for it.
Man, I even told you going into the week that I've been going back and forth on this fight the most. And I really think it's because I've tried to imagine this fight happen in my head, and I've seen it end in 20 different ways. And it's I don't understand why, because there's only a few different ways it can end. But I could see Alex winning by a slow, slothy decision. I could see him just landing a kill shot against Jamal Hill. I can see Jamal Hill landing a kill shot. I can see Jamal Hill using his wrestling all 5 rounds. Him being the bigger guy. So I have been very much back and forth on this fight. For me, the biggest question, and I think what's going to be the biggest question for everybody is where is Jamal Hill at coming off of this Achilles injury? For him to come back 9 months after the initial tear. Man, that's a lot of pressure that he's putting on himself right now. And he's putting a lot of pressure on himself in terms of, kind of talking to the media and stuff like that too. Or not necessarily talking to the media, but, talking amongst his podcasts and stuff like that, being very confident that he's going to be able to go out there and finish Alex Pereira. Now, I was happy to see that he showed Alex Pereira respect and, they came across one another. He shook hands and, had Alex Pereira sign one of the hoodies that he's getting all the fighters to sign and stuff like that. And, he made sure to tell Pereira he respected him and respected the skills as a champion and stuff like that. So I did like to see that, for them two coming up. But yeah, I'm curious to see where Jamal's health is at, man, because he's a good athlete, good boxer. We already know how dangerous Poetan is, man. The leg kicks, that left hook, just absolutely dangerous, man. But I'm going to go Jamal Hill here, man. And I'm going to go Jamal Hill by knockout. And I think because Alex Pereira, if you look at some of his fights, Izzy one especially, but you can even say the Bruno Silva fight, and you can say the Yuri fight as well. He gets hit a little bit more than what people tend to pay attention to, I guess, because, he ends up having such devastating finishes. People don't really, go back to, oh, yeah, he got punched a couple of times, but obviously you go back to that second Izzy fight in the UFC, and he got his light shut off. But Izzy also rocked him in the first fight. There were a couple moments in that Yuri fight where I do remember you were getting very excited when Yuri had, Alex backed up against the fence and was landing some big uppercuts, big shots. And, Jamal Hill, for me, he's on that Dustin Poirier tier where when he has somebody hurt, he finishes them. I know that you could say Glover lasted a little bit. I think that was in part Jamal Hill trying to work in some 5-round experience as well and not go in there and completely gas out to kind of prepare himself for a championship future. But I think if he ends up hurting Alex Pereira with a big punch, man, yeah, I think he gets Alex out of there, man. And I think that's exactly what happens. I think Alex, and if you go back, they actually said a year ago this week was that Izzy fight where he got brutally KO'd. So he fought April last year. He fought August of last year against Jan. Then he fought in November against Yuri. And then he turns around, 5 months later to return against Jamal Hill. Man, that's a lot of activity that Alex Pereira has put on himself, and especially the type of style that he brings too. So, yeah, I think Jamal Hill gets the KO, man.
All right. Edsel was saying, I think Hill's injury is not 100%. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the only fear that most Hill backers have. My thing is, D-Rose, dude, I thought this fight was really close to me throughout this whole, ever since it's been announced, dude. I'm like, damn, this is going to be a close fight. I'm going to be going for Alex, but close fight, dude, close fight. And then this week, dude, when I've dove into everything, dude, I don't want to say there's a competition difference because there's not really a huge competition difference in the two fighters. Jamal Hill had a rather easy path to get to the title, dude. Who did he beat to get his title shot? Johnny Walker?
Yeah, and then really just right place, right time.
And then so before that, Thiago Santos, 40-year-old, Glover, 40 years old. It's like I think to me, the jury's still out on Jamal Hill. It's like I don't really know what to think because the dude throughout this whole time, as you said it, he's so confident, dude. He's so confident, and usually that makes me believe in the fighters. Like when Ilya's confident, I was all on him. When Sean O'Malley was fucking confident, I was on him. When Ian Gary was talking his shit, I was all on him. But this, like the way like Jamal Hill's talking, it's almost like dismissive. Like, I know I'm so much better than him, and all of y'all are about to see this shit when I knock him out. And I think that just makes me not like him. Like, dude, Alex is good as fuck. And I guess the way he's kind of dismissing him, like he's about to go out there and just beat the shit out of him, it just kind of turned me off just a little bit. So I'm going Alex Pereira to knock out Jamal. Sweet dreams, Hill. Giving Jamal some sweet dreams. One other thing that I want to point out, and you guys will see it in this fucking replay 100 times. When Jamal Hill knocks out Johnny Walker, watch, dude. Johnny Walker hits him at the exact same time, too. And Jamal kind of stumbles back for a second, gets his fucking footing, and then it's like, oh, shit, I knocked him out. They hit each other at the same time, dude. I think if Alex hits Jamal like that, he might go to sleep, dude. I'm just going to put that out there. Yeah, give me Alex Pereira to knock out Jamal Hill this weekend. A lot of different picks on this card. A lot of different picks, D-Rose. And before all you guys leave out of here, I do want to give you the parlays that I have made so far for the week. I do have 4 parlays made. Yeah, here we go. Last week we did hit this. I don't know if I pulled that up at the beginning of the show, but 25 to 105, we smacked that one. So I do have 4 parlays already made for UFC 300 because it is a big card. So the first one I have made is a 4-leg, $25 to win 111. It's Deiveson Figueiredo, Jalen Turner, Diego Lopes, and Justin Gaethje. But as I said, odds could have probably changed a little bit because I think I made this like Monday or Tuesday night. One that I made on DraftKings, 7-leg, Alex Pereira, Magnum Zhang Li, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, Diego Lopes, Jalen Turner, and Deiveson Figueiredo. I put $25 on that to win 736. Probably overexposing myself way too much here. But another 7-leg, Deiveson, Jalen Turner, Diego Lopes, Bo Nickal, and under a round and a half. Charles Oliveira money line, Justin Gaethje and over a round and a half, and Zhang Li and over a round and a half. I put $30 on that to win 967. And the last one that I have made so far, I put $50 on this. Diego Lopes, Charles Oliveira, Alex Pereira. $50 to win 401. Yeah, D-Rose, I usually bet about $30, $40, $50 on the fight weekend. Occasionally I get up to $100, dude. I've already got like $180 worth of bets on this card. And it is a Wednesday, dude. And I do want to put one $300 bet on something, dude. For UFC 300, I have to make it special. And I think it's going to be a Justin Gaethje, Jalen Turner parlay. What's your thoughts on those, D-Rose?
Yeah, those are some good picks and man, some good dogs if we could try to take advantage of this week too. I like that Charles Oliveira parlay as well, you know, having him in there. Yeah, with the dog getting that extra juice, man. Yeah, I think and as far as betting in general, again, I told you I put a $10 straight bet already on Cody Garbrandt to get the job done. I got a couple different parlays. I got one with Alexander Rakic, Zhang Li, and Justin Gaethje. So yeah, I think there's a couple of spots where you could, you know, take advantage of some money, man. And yeah, I do like some of those plays that you got there. Just I'm surprised. You're usually not a man who bets too much dollars on those. So yeah, nope. You're definitely going big this week.
But I think, you know, you've kind of, you and the chat have probably saw me progress over this past month, dude. Like I bet $5 and $10 on the parlay, but over this past month, dude, you've seen some $25, some $50, and usually when I put them on there, they've been hitting. So I think that's what gave me the confidence to just launch it this week. I'm going to either look like an idiot or I'm going to make a lot of money this weekend. We'll see. But Lush letting us know you guys pick different on 6 different ones. D-Rose, Figueiredo, Cody Garbrandt, Andrade versus Rodriguez, Turner versus Moicano, Cater versus Sterling, Prochazka versus Rakic, and Pereira versus Hill. And you know, D-Rose, you know I'm taking that shit back next week, right, brother?
That's just mine. That's just about to be right back over here, and D-Rose is going to be eating them beans because our different picks for the pick champ this week, it's a pay-per-view, so we only get to toss out one of them. Damn it. I thought I was about to have an easy 3. Yeah, well, let's toss out Yuri.
Brother.
You know we're tossing out Yuri Prochazka, Alexander Rakic there. Everyone else, that's a dub for me. The only one I'm maybe not so confident on is honestly Andrade versus Rodriguez, because I could see that one going the other way. But yeah, if I hit a clean sweep on D Rose 5 picks, that would be nuts. So our 5 different picks for this weekend is everyone that's currently on your screen minus Yuri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic. And then next Wednesday on the podcast, whoever gets the most correct will be the winner of the pick champ, and the loser will have to eat Bean Boozled like I did at the start of this show. And I threw up a little bit. Fraud check for Hill. That's what Matt Peakseat's saying. You got to speak it into existence. I'm on Alex Might Switch to do a deep dive on the main event. Yeah, dude, this card is so good. Such great matchups. Who would even know? Props to put your money where your mouth is. Yeah, no point in just, I'm gonna let you know if I'm gonna bet it or if I'm not gonna bet it. Yeah, man's going. Awesome. Yeah, man's going full DJ for 300. I can't help it. And we got Riley dropping the $3 donation. Thanks for 300. I appreciate you, Riley, dropping the $3 donation. Appreciate you, brother. And then this card feels tough to me to parlay. Armin and Whaley are the only 2 spots I love. Gun to ahead, include Green for 3-legger. Oh, it's tough, man, because the Jalen Turner knockout a little bit ago, and I'm personally on Charles. Dude, good luck if you do bet it, though. If you do bet that, I hope you hit that, brother. Truly. Yeah. So with that being said, D Rose, shit, dude, we've been here over 2 hours. Did the recap from this past weekend. Had some fight news. I ate some disgusting flavored. I think it was
yummy.
Was it? Fucking stink bug beans.
That
wasn't good. And then we gave you all of our picks and previews for this upcoming weekend's fights. And then I gave you 4 of my personal parlays that I have made. As I said, I will be betting $300 on something. I just got to find out what it is. And yeah, with that being said, I will be here Friday for Change to Cheddar D Rose. Would you like to join me Friday for Change to Cheddar D Rose?
Yeah, we can get in there, man.
Okay, I do have another special guest. I would like to have 3 people on the 300 Change to Cheddar. I think that would be sick. So I'll have to do some little finagling and see if I can get 3 people on here. But if not, then I'm sure you don't really care. But I will have. I will have a special guest here Friday for Change of Cheddar, and maybe D Rose as well if I can get three guests on here at once. I don't know if I pay for the correct membership or not, but yeah, Change of Cheddar will be Friday, where I'll be running through the fights one last time, prelims to main card, after the weigh-ins. Looking at the face-off and all that, and give you my last-minute picks. Sometimes I pick flip, and usually I do wrong when I pick flip. But yeah, so Friday, Change of Cheddar, 10 p.m. Be here for our last-minute post-weigh-in picks. And, good luck to everyone this weekend. We appreciate you guys. See everyone Friday for Change of Cheddar. I appreciate you, Lush. You're an absolute G, my guy. Yeah, hell yeah. And thanks to both of you for the stream. Fun as always to end on Wednesday, indeed. Hell yeah. 3-way. All right, let's go. I'll sit here an animal. All right. With that being said, we truly appreciate each and every single one of you for taking the time out of your night to hang out with your boys over here on the Golden Octagon. Hit a thumbs up. Hit a thumbs up button if you haven't already. And yeah, catch us here Friday for Change of Cheddar. Anything before we get out of here, D-Rose?
Nah, man. Just let's make some money this weekend, boys. Of course, like I said, we'll be back for Change of Cheddar, man. But we made it to UFC 300 week, boys.
Hell yeah. It is a fantastic card. I'm personally excited. But remember, if you don't see us here Friday on Change of Cheddar, if you're betting your hard-earned money on these fights, please be careful. Don't be out there spending your bill money, your rent money, because at the end of the day, it's a fist fight and anything can happen. People lose all the time that aren't supposed to. So please just keep that in mind. Be safe out there, y'all. With that being said, we'll catch y'all Friday for Change to Cheddar. Peace.